Hello everyone, wishing you all a peaceful new day. There are days without appointments, without plans, without noise, but they touch the heart very gently. Today's video will take you along with Alex's family on such a day. A sunny morning, a quiet little house, and everyday moments that seem so simple that we easily overlook them. However, each smile, each meal, each small story weaves a very strange warmth of feeling that makes us realize that happiness sometimes does not lie in big things, but in very ordinary moments, with the people we love the most. And you are about to see why it is so special. The video will slow you down, feel every beat of life, and realize that sometimes peace is the most precious gift for every family. Have you ever experienced a day where everything seemed to slow down, where there were no major events, no elaborate plans, but when you look back, you suddenly smile because it was so peaceful? A day when the world outside was still spinning with the hustle and bustle of life, but in the small house, everything seemed to stop, gentle, soft, and full of the breath of happiness. Today's story begins from such a day, the day when Alex's family accidentally created their warmest memory during the long, busy days. It was a weekend morning, when the gentle yellow sunlight gently filtered through the thin curtains, leaving thin streaks of light on the wooden floor that had aged over the years. The small house seemed to be wearing a warm, gentle, and peaceful coat. The city outside was still sleepy. The familiar sounds of vehicles had not yet rushed in, leaving a rare silence, a silence that adults often do not realize they are missing until they suddenly feel it. Alex, a man who is usually quiet and always carries many responsibilities on his shoulders, usually starts his morning with a series of work notifications. But today is different. No phone ringing, no urgent messages, no urgent meetings. He put his phone on the table, the screen facing down, as a decisive decision. Today, family is the only priority. Dr. Na, the small but strong wife, always racing with the cycle of taking care of the family, rarely has a leisurely morning, but today, she clearly feels the relief in the air. Her small smile appears when she hears Henry's footsteps running on the floor. The sound of toys rattling, then the children's voices chirping throughout the house like a morning song. Henry runs to his parents, his eyes bright and round with curiosity, as if he wants to share the whole small world he is imagining. At that moment, the whole house suddenly has a very different flavor, no longer a place where adults hurriedly passed by every morning, but became a space where time stretched little by little. Every laugh, every light touch, every step of Henry seemed to be magnified in that gentle silence. And then, in that light atmosphere, Alex and Tuna looked at each other, not with the eyes of adults discussing work, but with the eyes of two life partners suddenly realizing, it's been a long time since we had a morning just for each other. A day that wasn't special started to become special in the simplest way. That morning, in the small house, everything seemed to be washed away from the noise of modern life. There was only laughter, the sound of children's footsteps, and the taste of a new, warm day. It was also in that seemingly peaceful morning that Alex and Tuna accidentally rediscovered a hobby that they had promised to do together a long time ago, making kimchi at home, a dish that sounds simple, but is a meticulous process, requiring patience and harmony, just like the way the couple built this home together. Alex brought the basket of cabbage to the table. His large but skillful hands began to separate each leaf. He is not a very good cook, but every time he has the opportunity to prepare a meal with his wife, he becomes unusually patient. Alex's calm, steady personality makes every movement slow and sure, as if he wants to use that action to tell his wife, I am here, complete. Tuna is different. She is agile, delicate, and has smiling eyes. All the spices from garlic, ginger, salt, to Korean chili powder are neatly arranged on the kitchen counter, like a small ritual. Every time she prepares this traditional dish, Tuna tells Alex about the times she helped her mother pickle kimchi when she was a child. Her voice always had a hint of nostalgia, making the small kitchen space seem to slow down a beat. Henry occasionally ran past, holding his favorite green plastic dinosaur. Every now and then, He would curiously peek into the basket of vegetables, ask a few funny questions, then run away like a small breeze. In the small kitchen, the sunlight gently shone on the wooden table, creating warm streaks of light. Alex and Tuna stood next to each other, not saying much. But the look they exchanged was enough to understand that they were truly enjoying this moment. Separating the cabbage, washing the cabbage, salting it, each step, though very routine, brought an indescribable feeling of intimacy. And then came the most important part, making the kimchi sauce. The scent of minced garlic, crushed ginger, and fish sauce blended together, gently spreading in the air, evoking the cozy feeling of traditional family kitchens. Alex tasted a little and grimaced slightly because of the spiciness, making Tuna laugh out loud. That laughter rang out, soft and clear like a musical note, making the morning even more gentle. The kitchen that day was not just a place where they made kimchi, it became a place where they retold old stories, reminiscing about the first time Tuna taught Alex to wrap spring rolls, or the time Alex clumsily mixed the dough, making them both laugh until they cried. Those small memories, seemingly trivial, were the strong glue that bound people together. At the end of the day, when the kimchi jar was finished, the small house was immersed in the warm light of the late afternoon. Henry was sleeping peacefully in his crib, still holding the familiar green dinosaur. Alex and Tuna gently covered their child with a blanket, then sat down next to each other, saying nothing, just listening to the boy's steady breathing. At that moment, they suddenly realized, happiness sometimes is not about long trips, not about big gifts or brilliant achievements. Happiness turns out to be very ordinary things: a free morning, a kitchen with the fragrant smell of garlic and ginger, an old story told with a smile, and a person to share those little things with. Alex gently took Tuna's hand. No more words were needed, because their eyes were enough to say, "We have gone through many busy years, many times forgetting each other in the midst of a stressful life. But it turns out, just a peaceful day like this, all the gaps are filled." Tuna leaned her head against his shoulder. She knew that love wasn't always romantic or glamorous. Love, in its most beautiful form, was the two of them being completely present for each other, like the way Alex had put his phone down on the table this morning, like the way she smiled when he clumsily tasted the kimchi sauce. And though life might return to its usual hustle tomorrow, they knew that as long as they had each other, any day could become a tender memory. The jar of kimchi in the corner of the kitchen would ripen in a few days, and their love, slow, rustic, patient, continued to ferment in its own way, enduring, tender, and growing stronger.